Me, I want us to talk about 115 charges and Everton getting a 10 points deduction. Was that a fair punishment or was it too harsh? So for those people who might not have heard or don't know the information, Everton were given a 10 points deduction for apparently breaking FFP, financial fair play rules for the Premier League, and they did so by overspending by 20 million, roughly around 20 million pounds. Yes, I think it's in pounds. So they were given a 10 points deduction. Yet they released a statement saying it was a bit harsh of a punishment. Yet they were very, cooperative with the bodies and everything and everyone who was involved. So I want to pose a question to you guys. Do you think it was harsh or it was a fair one? Before I pose the next question.
Okay, I know where this debate is going. And honestly, anyway, we can say football is a balance of everything. The business, what goes on in the pitch, decisions that are made. And as in any other organization, mistakes or maybe they're just people who can't be honest 100%. So as I say, maybe instead of punishing the whole club and the fans, because this sport is being done for the fans, it's not only for the business owners and everything. Go after the individuals, the people who made the poor decisions, but don't go after the club.
I may have a question.
Don't go and hurt the fans.
I have a question. Because of the advantage that this team got, it potentially did not get relegated because of spending way more than the other team that was relegated. So what happens to the team that was relegated unfairly? Because at the end of the day, this team spent 20 million or had a 20 million extra expense. So in so doing, could have signed a player who or somebody who might have helped them not get relegated, because they survived in the last 2 seasons by a whisk, I think in the last game or something. So now if you are saying about fans and the club should not be punished, so what should we say to the clubs or the teams of other teams who are suffering because of Everton? They are being punished at the moment because they were relegated and they were not playing on the same level field because they spent within the rules.
So are we sure if they spent that?
Yes, because if they did, they would have been fouled.
So if they spend that equal amount that Everton spent, they won't be relegated.
You might not know; they might have survived.
Okay, I think
financial fair play are there for a reason.
I think maybe what Kevo is saying, if we use that correlation, then Chelsea should be on the top of the table by now because Chelsea spent $1 billion. Yeah.
No. Now
we're having a debate.
So basically, if we use that it means that the more
spending more
it
translates into what goes into the ground.
Let's come back. What is the financial fair play rules? It's to enable people to play on the same level playing field. So in a 3-year period, you should not spend more than this. I think it's about the amount of money the club makes and the amount of money being invested by the club. I think the club should not, individuals should not invest, I think, more than, I don't know how many percent, more than the club should use, let's say, I'm not sure, but I think it's something like 70-something% or 80-something% of any money used by the club should be coming directly from the club organically. So, yes, you might have spent money, but that means, one, if you spend the money and spend it uselessly, that's your own problem. But at the end of the day, you should still stay within the rules, because if somebody else spends the money and spends it well and has spent way more than another person, that means they are playing at an unlevel playing field. Because these people used an extra 20 million to get a striker who might have helped score 20 more goals. And this other team decided to play by the rules, didn't get an extra striker, and they were not able to score the goals that stopped them from being relegated. And that's the difference. That's why the financial fair play rules exist. So even if you spend a lot of money, it does not necessarily mean you succeed, but it gives you a bigger or a better chance of success more than a person who did not spend as much.
Yeah, so maybe you say potentially.
Yes.
Potentially.
Yes.
So, well, honestly, I had, first of all, is it Leicester and Leeds? They are suing the same. They are suing Everton for 300 million.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's 300 million plus they want. I think a further 9 points deduction. That's what they said. So, well, I okay. Honestly, to me, what I'd say is sometimes that's what happens to, like, I don't know. I feel like it's unfair in a way. Like, if you know you've spent more, like, you need to be. I'm not so sure whether them going to notify the authority that they spent more was a smart idea. Honestly, because
I think they just
maybe the authorities here have done something wrong to punish them, because in future no club would go and tell them, by the way, we have spent more. They will
try to hide as much as possible.
Yeah, so I feel like it is good for now, but for the future it's bad, because every other person who will try to evade that rule will try to hide, because there is no forgiveness in reporting yourself.
Okay, me I'm not even talking about forgiveness. I'm talking about it might be too harsh. Maybe they should have been given like 10 million pounds, maybe fine, or 5-point deduction. But man, 9 points.
Okay, this is how I see it. Then I feel like because you're saying potentially they would have signed a new striker. For me, I see they would have been banned from signing next season.
Yeah. But now for 20 million, that's very little. Anyway, yeah, that feels the same as harsh. It's still harsh.
It's
for me. What I'd say,
but at least it doesn't affect the work they have done.
And also,
they cannot. These are 10 points they had earned. Yeah.
Okay,
but next season,
that is something we can agree to disagree. Not this at no punishment. Anyway, now we go back to where everybody knows I'm going. Now, if Everton were being given a 10-point deduction for only spending over 20 million, what will happen to clubs who, one, have spent more than that 20 million period, two, have been trying to hide the amount of money they have spent and how they have spent it by covering up, by saying, oh, this is a sponsorship deal, so it's organically from the club. But you find the company that is saying is giving money to the club is a company only or solely owned by the owner of this person. It has not operated, it has just been registered. So in short, it is money being given to the club by the owner, which is not supposed to be happening, but under the guise of it's from an investor from naming rights or whatever. So City and Chelsea are the culprits. So I don't know, we start with Chelsea, because Chelsea also have another. Hey, Chelsea have too many cases. Let's go with City first. City have 115 charges looming over their heads, including all those about spending way too much money and hiding the books and pretending and all that. So what do you think could be or should be the proper punishment for City, considering the punishment given to Everton?
Well, I think you are just a little bit bitter there, Kevo.
No, I'm just asking.
Okay, I'll explain to you why. You see, the two clubs that Kevo has mentioned are the two clubs that have won most in the last like 10 seasons.
Unfairly.
Yeah, and so well, whether it's fairly or unfairly, okay, I don't know. Honestly, me, I cannot really say. Okay, for City, I think that unless we see the charges, we cannot really say where it's leading.
I'm saying if they are potentially found guilty, what should be the because we cannot say if they're guilty or not.
Because if Everton is given a 10-point deduction for one breach, then 115
of only 20 million,
then 115 breaches would cause Mancity to be banned from football, honestly. but realistically speaking, I mean, is it potentially going to happen? Do you think that is likely to happen?
If the precedent has already been set, there can only be one way. You cannot forgive one and punish harshly another. You can't. You have to give the punishment equally. So if they are given 10 points, then to me, I believe the only punishment should be City banned from the Premier League for 2 seasons minimum. That means they go to League One and then they try to find their way to the league or stay in the Championship for 2 seasons. Whatever works. But they should not be in the league for 2 seasons.
Well, I think it's because you want to win the title.
We'll still win it.
But I feel like it's not like a straight line analysis where you say for one breach is 10 points. What about 115? It's more like whoever has little, even that one that he does not have, will be taken away from him. And whoever has more, he will be added. I feel like, honestly speaking, I feel like the Premier League would not get to the point of punishing City. Because City have not disclosed their books, like you said, and
they have disclosed, but they're hiding.
They have hidden some of the potential things that could sell them out, and that is the same reason why they will not find it, is because they punished Everton for concealing. So basically, City would at no point.
Everton did not conceal.
What happened?
See, them, they just give the books and said, because of COVID, because of the Ukraine war, that is why we did this and this.
Yeah, and City will not do that.
Yes, but then there is investigation. So if it is found, this money, they say it is coming from an independent group. It was not really an independent group, it was from the owners, then that is punishable if it's proven, that is.
Yeah.
Because there are companies that have invested at City, but those companies are not really companies that exist. They've just been registered. They do not have an office. They have nothing, and they are owned solely by the owners of City. So in short, it's just City, the owners of City investing in the club under the guise of a organic kind of company. Because I don't know if you guys remember, there was a time where City got they were ranked, I think, the highest earners of revenue money, ahead of even Real Madrid and Manchester United. Mm-hmm. I think, do you remember that time? There was a list that came out. Mm-hmm. And then you tell me how that makes sense, unless they are cooking some things there. Anyway. Well, City guy has not talked.
No, you see, for me, I think I'll just go back to what football is, and that's what I'm saying. Okay, what they're saying, they're saying some of the punishment that a club can get is maybe suspend a club from Premier League matches, of which Kevin is proposing for 2 seasons.
Only fair.
Points deduction. Anyway, whichever punishment they choose to give City or any other club that is found culpable of these accusations, whatever they do, they have to also think about the repercussions that will follow what we call football. Because us as fans, we don't care whatever happens there. Us, we just want to enjoy the game.
You are City. The rest of the fans of the Premier League will be very happy.
You see, you see what happens is today it's City, tomorrow will be Arsenal.
We don't steal.
No.
We don't.
It's only that your papers have not been. Trust me.
No,
there's always something.
There are only 2 clubs who are known for doing that: City and Chelsea. It's proven fact.
Well,
Arsenal will play by the books.
Well, if it's proven, then I think they would probably have done something. But I think those are accusations.
At the moment, they're just accusations.
Yeah, so you should give them a break.
But as Everton said, we'll be looking keenly at what punishments will be given to other clubs found guilty of such an offense, as Everton said.
Yeah, but the problem here, I'm telling you, is these other clubs will look at whatever happened to Everton, and they will be more keen to evade.
Trust me, if you see, money, paper trail is paper trail. You can try as much as possible to evade, but if somebody wants to find something, they will find it. Because one, you are obligated to provide all documents when asked to. So you can provide, but you hide some things inside those documents that might pretend. But if they decide to dig between each and every document, it might take time. That's why the 115 charges by City is still taking longer as it is, because they need to take time and make sure all those charges are investigated well and made sure that if it's right or wrong, they know. That's what I'm telling you. If you are guilty, you'll still be found. Even Juventus were found guilty now.
But let me ask you one question. Do you think that the governing body at the top there has like the moral, like they're so strict, and let's say at no point will City,
they've already set the precedent.
Okay.
They've already set the precedent. I believe so.
It's a bit to get saved.
Tumekwama huku leo.